Old options. One of the very first features that eventually disappeared from Granny was the Separate Options button. In the earliest versions of the game, the options menu wasn't found before starting a match like it is today. Instead, it had its own button, located directly below the play button on the main menu. Pressing it would open a completely separate window where players could change the game's settings. This system remained in the game until version 1.2. So why was it removed? While developer never officially confirmed the reason, the Separate Options button was replaced with a new system where all settings appear after pressing play. This made it less likely for players to accidentally start a game with the wrong settings after forgetting to change them. Old background of the Options menu. The Options menu itself also went through another change. Before version 1.7, the background of the Options menu wasn't the backyard. Instead, it used a screenshot of the basement game over scene, giving the menu a much darker appearance. If you've only played newer versions of Granny, you've probably never seen this older background. So why was it changed? No official reason was ever given. In version 1.7, the basement image was simply replaced with a view of the backyard, and the older background never returned. Old hunting music. One of the rarest pieces of removed content in Granny is the old hunting music. This chase theme only appeared in version 1.7, meaning it existed for just a single version before disappearing. Whenever Granny spotted the player, this soundtrack would begin playing instead of the hunting music used today. Because it remained in the game for such a short time, many players never even realized that this soundtrack ever existed. So, why was it removed? An official explanation was never given. However, it's widely believed that the music wasn't originally created by developer, which is why it was later replaced with another hunting theme. Since then, the original soundtrack has never returned to the game. Strange Substance. Another forgotten feature involved Slendrina's mother. From version 1.5 until version 1.7.9, placing the book on the lectern didn't immediately reveal her. Before she appeared, players would first see a strange dark substance slowly pull back, almost as if something was emerging from underneath it. This effect became part of the animation every time players completed the required step. So why was it removed? In version 1.7, the sequence was changed. A different mechanic was introduced for Slendrina's mother's appearance, causing the strange substance to be removed entirely. After that update, the effect was never used again. Old bear trap remove icon. Even something as small as the bear trap icon wasn't safe from being changed. In the earliest versions of Granny, the icon used to remove a bear trap looked completely different from the one players recognize today. Although the gameplay remained exactly the same, the artwork itself was replaced in later updates. Because it was only a small visual change, many players didn't even notice it happened. So why was it changed? Unfortunately, no official explanation has ever been given. The old icon was simply replaced with a newer design, which has remained in the game ever since. Old Nightmare. Nightmare mode wasn't always the same as it is today. From version 1.6 to version 1.7.9, Nightmare mode featured much darker blood textures throughout the house, making the environment feel even more disturbing than the normal game. But that wasn't the only difference. During those versions, Nightmare mode was also the only game mode where players could hear the hunting music. If you wanted to experience that soundtrack, Nightmare mode was the only way to do it. So why was it removed? No official explanation was ever given. In later updates, the darker blood textures were replaced, and Nightmare mode no longer had this unique appearance. Granny's moving head. Another small detail disappeared from the main menu over the years. Before version 1.7.9.3, Granny didn't remain completely still. Her head would slowly move from left to right while waiting on the main menu, making the screen feel more alive. To make this animation possible, Granny's head and the background were actually separate textures. However, when the main menu was redesigned, the animation disappeared. So why was it removed? It's believed the change was made for optimization. After the redesign, Granny simply looked to the left, and the moving head animation never returned. You cannot escape. Many players believe the message was left behind by a previous victim, while others thought Granny herself wrote it. However, its true origin was never confirmed. The Easter egg remained in the game until version 1.5. So, why was it removed? With the introduction of a new escape route in version 1.5, the brick wall and its message were no longer needed. From that point on, the hidden warning disappeared completely. That's all of the Granny removed contents. If you want part 2, comment down below.